I hope you can hear me. Only a quick check to the background. Maximilian, can you hear me? Everything okay with audio and video? Perfect. So I hope we are live now. Then we will start the session. Perfect. Thank you. Also feedback from the community. Works perfect. Sorry, we had a little bit difficult with our technical equipment here in this small box. But now we will start. Yeah, welcome to our webinar to introduce the new features of the SIMATIC Energy Manager Pro version 7.6. You have seen that on the agenda we have today a lot of different points, but the most effective and important features are now the new tool about the flexibilization to implement the production plan based on your analysis data and based on the information you will get from your plant side. And then you can optimize the production plan by shifting the production time periods according to the actual day ahead prices, as well as actual estimated peak loads or loads of the whole factory. The next point is the new feature, additionally to our last new feature, what we had about the product carbon footprint in the version 7.6, also now the corporate carbon footprint. And additionally, also we have modified the whole web in a new design, as well as in a new technology in the background, where you can now also take over the whole configuration directly in the asset tree, where you will be able to configure KPIs, variable factors, and so on. Okay, so my name, as you can see here, is Peter Holzmann. I'm working for the business development team of our SIMATIC Energy Management group. And then we will start with the new feature. Here we will have an overview about the detailed information, what I would like to present you today. As I told you, the main new features, flexibilization and corporate carbon footprint on the top. But additionally, we also have some other features, small features, I would like to say, modifications according to also the usability of the software. We have implemented, as I told you, everything in web user management. We also have a new security concept between the acquisition component, which is collecting the data below, as well as the topic where you can send the data further, which are calculated in the database, for example, via MQTT client to a broker and so on. Okay, in parallel, I would like to jump always into my live demonstration where I can show you the different features. So let's directly start with the functionality. First, I would like to present the new functionality for the corporate carbon footprint. In the meantime, I would like to switch directly to the screen that you can see the screen a little bit better. Yeah, as mentioned in the beginning, in the last version, we take the focus more on the product carbon footprint. So to calculate the product carbon footprint, it is also necessary to include the scope 1s from your own emissions in your factory. Additionally, for sure, it's also necessary to combine that information with scope 2 and scope 3, where you will get out also the emissions from the transport, where you will buy the raw material, where you will purchase energy and so on, to be able to get a total product carbon footprint calculation. So this can be finally also done now with the corporate carbon footprint topics, where you can include all the different scopes now in the SIMATIC Energy Manager in version 7.6. Why is this necessary? As you can see here, for sure, also investors evaluate climate risks. The customers take more demand now on environmental topics and so on. And this make it also necessary that we will expand that functionality in a successful energy management system like the SIMATIC Energy Manager Pro. The corporate carbon footprint dashboard will be also presented based on the group as well as on site level. So you can see in the pictures, and I will show you for sure in the next step in the live demo, that we have split up that functionality here in this kind of asset tree, and based on the group level or where you will have access based on your administration rights to the software, you can see the different sites worldwide, and therefore you can also get more information out about the actual emission scopes, what you will be able to analyze. Yeah, the functionality can be analyzed on location-based or market-based transparency. So you can switch between the different functionalities, especially when you would like to go in deeper analysis. You also have a possibility to create your own template. For sure, we have a default implementation of the different scopes, especially in scope 3, where you will have, I would like to say, some recommendations, but finally you can create your own KPIs where you will calculate the different functionality, which for sure must be imported into the system manually or automatically via our available interfaces. Yeah, let's go directly into the live demo where I would like to show you the feature in the live demo. So you can see I have already logged into the SIMATIC Energy Manager. Later on, I would like to show you also, or I will explain that we also have now 2 new possibilities for authorization connections available to improve the whole logging or login procedure. Here, for all the people who are joining our meeting and don't know maybe the basics about the SIMATIC Energy Manager, in the SIMATIC Energy Manager, we try to implement the whole software for the best usability for the end user. So on the left side, you have different menu tabs where you can directly jump into the different functionality. We have also here the tree functionality, and in the tree functionality, since the version 7.5, we have implemented a completely asset tree module. So this concept will give you the possibility to set up a whole group-wide implementation of an energy data management systems. And in our example, what we are also offering for our customers in the live demo in internet, you can see that here we have built up a soft drink factory, for example. Here, the soft drink factory will exist or will take place on 3 different locations, one in Berlin, in Nuremberg, and in Munich. And so also the asset tree belongs to that, I would like to say, technological architecture functionality. So I can open here the different sub-assets, I would like to say. You see below the group, I have here the first site asset, and then below I have different sub-assets, as we call it: production, utilities, office in Berlin, or the same here, for example, in Munich. So if you are only responsible, for example, based on the administration rights for one of the locations, you can only see this location. So also a very powerful, I would like to say, administration functionality will be included into the software. When we click to one site, also for some information, then you will see on the right side always the first start page. So each asset can be connected with a kind of home page, and this will be always presented on the first click if you will navigate through the whole asset tree. Here we have, for example, an overview about an actual factory with the main information which should be presented for the energy manager or the responsible people who would like to analyze the data. And I can click on the upper left corner, and then I can see all the other analyses which are connected to my assets or configured here in the asset. And you can see the one which is selected as a home page will have here a little star. I can deselect them in the same way as I can activate them, for example. I have different analyses, so I can directly jump, for example, if I'm interested also in the site in Berlin for the whole supply topic, open the supply topic, and then I will have here my dashboard available. Go back, and then you will see here all the other analyses which are connected here in my configuration. Yeah, this functionality is available since the last version, 7.5. We can also configure the assets here. Maybe additionally now, what is new in the new version, we also have here comments. So that means you can connect each information directly on the asset tree level to the different objects. So when I would like to add here, for example, such an information, then I can enter here, maintenance necessary, and add that information, and I will get a timestamp with my user I'm logged into the system. In the same way, I can also add some attachments like PDF functionality, which is necessary to know about this asset, this functionality here. So this will also help you a little bit in the whole, I would like to say, administration process, maintenance process of an energy management system. So this is also now available and could be always, for example, here activated with the comment button. Which is now new in the version 7.6 is the whole configuration in the asset tree also according to the KPI, the data points, and so on. So you can see when I have activated, for example, here the site in Berlin, or I will jump deeper into the tree level and I would like to activate the production asset in Berlin, then I have here the list of all connected data points, KPI calculations, and so on in the lower list. You can directly activate here a filter, for example, to search for only electricity consumption or something else. So this is for sure possible in the same way. Or you will directly be able to jump into the tree level. Into the tree level to the configuration. So that means this is the new functionality of the parameter hub. The parameter hub will give you the possibility directly to configure the actual data points, KPIs, or factors from the actual asset, or you can also here include the sub-asset parameter view. Then you will see everything which belongs to, based on the data point selection here, also to the sub-assets. So this is the functionality that instead of having the project configuration in the left menu tabs, as we did it in the version 7.5, you can now configure the whole new, I would like to say, functionalities like add a parameter or add a new data point directly here in the parameter hub. I would like to jump back to my asset view. The parameter hub can be also, for example, here directly opened on this little arrow icon on the upper right area. So what is included also in the parameter hub? You can see I have here the different selections. For example, how many KPIs are for sure included in that sub asset, or which factors are included, which data points. I will click on the group level to see a little bit more of that functionality. And now we have the whole included objects of my whole soft drink group, as you can see here on our live demo server. Include sub-asset parameter means it will show you the other functionality. We have here the different KPIs, we have the different factors, and when I select all, then I can get the overview about all the necessary functionality. The parameter hub can be also activated here over the functionality of the services. Here you can see two new entries additionally to the service cockpit, which is also always available for analysis the whole data transfer and so on. We have now a separate menu tab for data acquisition, as well as the new functionality of the parameter hub. And here you can see the parameter hub will be loaded in the full version, and here you will get the possibility to access the data directly in the software. I can scroll down, and for sure I also can now, and this is also a new feature in that functionality, create some filter objects. These filter objects are based on the old property functionality, what we had already included since many, many years in the software, but they are also now configurable in the web configuration view. When I scroll to the right side, you can see more details about each data point or connected object. And what you can see here, that I will have the possibility to customize my view table with additional properties. One of the properties is, for example, which can be for sure configured by free, next calibration date for such an energy counter, who will be the responsible person to contact, and maybe the name of the supplier of this device. So this could be also done. If I select then with a click on that functionality, one of these tables, then I will be also see all the objects where the information will be inserted in the functionality. I can also activate here customize table, and here you can see below you have the standard, the default objects of the database, and additionally you can configure here also the new properties based on your demand, like your contact person, next calibration, and this functionality will be stored here in the overview. Important will be that you can configure for sure, because maybe for data points, different, I would like to say, filter objects as necessary than the KPIs. And here you can see for KPIs, you can select your own customized table. So this will be the first row of using also that functionality. And for sure, as I told you, you can also use these filter functionalities finally also in the dashboards, in the assets and so on, to combine that object much better in your analysis view, as well as to realize an easier analysis based on set the right filters. Okay, how maybe can I configure such a new parameter? Only to give you a short idea, I will click here on the right side on such an object, activate properties, and then you can see here I can, for example, create new properties like I did it with the supplier or with the contact person. I will add here a new property, will insert a name, can define if this is a text, a date, integer, and so on, and finalize this new property, and then I will have it available for configuration. So this is the functionality which will be also very helpful for better analysis, better connections between the different objects, especially if you have a worldwide project with a whole overview. So back to our asset tree. As I told you, for the people who have not too much knowledge about the last versions, this is now our functionality based on the whole asset tree functionality. So you have a quick view of connected objects. On the right side, you have always an area where you can see the necessary dashboards and so on, or you can directly click to other analyses which are connected to this asset overview. Additionally, you can also activate, for example, for different, I would like to say, most important objects, some such a quick links here directly in the asset, as well as for example, also directly in the connected dashboards, add quick link and so on. And then we have a quick link overview where belong to the connected user or with the user which are logged in. I'm at the moment logged in with the Siemens user to show you the whole configuration topic with the most administration rights. Then you can directly jump to the most important topics you would like to analyze in the first 5 minutes before the meeting. So I have an overview where we have, for example, also our guided tool to download to understand the whole demo a little bit better. I have the corporate overview, where I will have my map widget with the main information about the site level. I can switch in the time series to see the different calculations, or I can jump into other important informations like the corporate carbon footprint situation and so on. I can open, for example, a media report or a cost center report directly, where we will use also our strong implementation of the Excel template configuration. Okay, so finally, after a first explanation about the whole concept, how we built up the Energy Manager for analyzing, let's go back now to the new features. So you will find the new features here in the Analysis tab. So we have, from the version 7.5, the target cockpit here connected, where you can, for example, implement new targets group-wide and then select it on the site level to directly see if you have already achieved the target. You can open the task list or the measure list, also with the information here, which measures are already realized, or what are the facts about the measure: return of invest, payback period, net present value, and so on. Here we also had the product carbon footprint dashboard, where we can see, for example, when I select for sure the right time period, that we can have a little bit more data available, where we can see how much batches are, for example, already produced during that period. So we can see here from soft drink one, we had one batch, and we had now the product carbon footprint and all the relevant batches available here. So this was also available in this new tab. And additionally, now we had here the corporate carbon footprint feature now embedded in that situation. You can see when I open the corporate carbon footprint, I have here the soft drink group available. In the soft drink group, I can see the total information about all the connected emission data. Here is the table about the pie chart, where you can see the percentage between the different scopes. Here I have a switch on the top where I can switch between location-based information or market-based. This depends on the contract which you will have. And then you can see when I activate the different functionality based on the emission situation of CO2 emissions, location-based or market-based will be different. When I jump down into the asset tree, then I can see here the facts about the site in Berlin, about the site in Munich, and so on. When I open here below the functionality of the scopes, then you can see the details. So here are the details about all the detail scopes, like in the scope 1, stationary combustion emission, mobile combustions, and so on, with the percentage. Behind all these different, I would like to say, entries, there are for sure such a KPIs which have to be connected to real data or can be filled up with manual data. But later on, I would like to explain the details. I can activate also here the scope 2 emissions, and you see the scope 3 emissions are a little bit more, where we have also a fuel and energy-related activated capital goods, wasted energies, and so on. So more about the details for sure you will find when you will be more interested in the whole scope situation. How can you set up a kind of template on the group level? As I told you in the beginning, you have the overview about the whole situation, and in that case, you can also configure here a special template, therefore. You can see that we have already inserted information for the last 3 years, and based on that information, we also have configured a template. Here, when I open, for example, a current template, then you can see here the functionality. First of all, you can define the period for the reporting. I have the possibilities to add additional subscopes, maybe according to the actual regulations coming up in the future and so on. And this will be finally my template, which can be saved to a special time period. When I select now finally a template based on the site level, then here the templates are available, and here I can connect the data points from the background directly to the analysis template. So here, when I open, for example, the template of the actual or the last year, January 24 to January 25, then you can see here to each of my I would like to say configured subscopes, like subscope 1.1, stationary combustion, mobile combustions. Here I can connect a real value if I do not have a connected measurement, or I can connect a measurement here on the right side. And I can define also the CO2 emission in tons of CO2 emissions here with the value based on the connected, for example, consumptions of total gas, of diesel fuel consumption, and so on. And then I can always calculate. The same for scope 2, for scope 3. So this will also help you to improve the whole calculations based on corporate sustainability reporting, as well as on corporate carbon footprint reporting. And last but not least, to have all these analyses here available, for sure, you can also export this relevant information that we will have it. At the moment, we have it in a, for example, Excel CSV file. Wait, I will share my screen to the right side. Give me just a second. And so you can easily use that information with all the scopes also externally after the calculation will be done here in the toolset. Okay, so corporate carbon footprint should be now clear. Let's go back to my presentations that I will get the red line. Again, now to the next tool, flexibilization. Flexibilization combines the features of production planning, which were also available in the past, but only in our FET or full client, how we will call it. But now this will be also available in the web browser for configuration and for planning. The flexibilization will give you the possibility not only to analyze products based on their, I would like to call it, energy footprint. You can also finally calculate the production plan, which will be inserted from the product manager, the energy manager, into the system based on the best time frames for production. So that means what we can see here below in that screenshot, in the combination with the actual planned production based on the time period where the production is planned, where for sure we have to first analyze each of the production with the different products which should be produced based on values from the past. We get a load profile according to these values. These can be connected finally to the different materials, to the different products, like in our use case, soft drink 1, 2, 3, and so on. And in the production planning tool, flexibilization, we can combine that information with the actual load, or I would like to say estimated load of the factory on that day or on the next days. For sure, I have to check a little bit more about predicted loads, which can be analyzed with the tool, and the actual day ahead price, for example, for tomorrow. And this combination will finally give you the overview to import the production plan and see, okay, which time period will be the best to set up the production. So this should be the background about this flexibilization tool. You can see here an explanation. The By the way, the webinar slide set will be also available finally to download as a PDF. When you will check your links anywhere on the right side, you can download finally the whole presentation later on. So the information we will get from the asset as well as from the analysis based on the I would like to say electricity consumption based on the analysis in the batch of the material will be combined finally with the predicted consumption of the whole factory plus the day ahead price. And therefore we have an artificial intelligence optimizer which will find out the best production period according to this predicted consumption and day ahead price for flexible loads. This is important. So which information or more information about the flexible loads? The flexible loads for sure only make sense if you have higher, I would like to say, production loads which can be used as a flexible load. So, for example, the production plan can be realized that you can say, okay, I have a flexible load based on my production asset or on my production plant. And this production can be started, for example, between 7 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening, according to the best time period when we take a focus on use the smallest energy consumptions. And in that case, okay, you will define how long the production should take place to realize a production of, for example, 140 tons. So we will calculate the rate per hour based on the knowledge we will have from the plant side. And then the system will find out, based on the actual load profile of the factory, as well as of the day ahead price, when will be the best time period to realize such a functionality. Here you will also find in the slides a few screenshots about the whole production planning tool, how you will feed the data to the optimizer, what will be the time interval, what will be the peak load limit, the peak load costs, and so on, and connected the right data points with the day ahead price as well as with the forecast of the consumption to the system. For each of the assets, you have to activate this production planning tool separately, so that not all the assets, the production assets, are included in that functionality, only the selected one where it will make sense. And as I told you, for sure, you have to analyze the product, the material before, with the batch analysis, that you will get out, for example, a load profile, as you can see it here. So this will be one possibility to implement or upload a load profile from the past, from that production. For example, in our soft drink factory filling line 1, every 50 minutes, a typical load profile. Or when you analyze the material based on a regression analysis, then you have here the formula K multiplied by X plus D, which can be also analyzed directly from the filling line, for example, in the system. And you will get the K and the D factor here to calculate each product separately. So this can be also used to get more information about the energy profile of each material. Yeah, and last but not least, you can insert the production plan with a mask directly in the Energy Manager web interface, or you can upload a production plan based on an Excel format. What we can see here. So when I have analyzed the different materials, here I have a material tab, then I can define, okay, this product should be produced from 7 o'clock, as I told you, until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Or I have a predefined time period, for example, from 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock p.m. And the possible whole time frame could be from 7 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the system can realize the best time frame for the whole production. Yeah, this upload of the production plan automatically can be also realized. For example, you have a subfolder where over the network, the IT will always send you the production plan in the morning. can be automatically imported with a kind of task management into the system. This will be configured in the full client, because this is more an administration part for the automatic upload. Yeah, which use cases are supported? As I told you, energy consumptions is contingented on the type and volume of the material produced per hour. The batch duration should be more than 5 minutes. This is also important, because for smaller production slots, it makes not really sense. It should be a dynamic pricing contract available with the day-ahead price, and as I told you, flexible loads of that production lines. Make sense. With, for sure, the loads must be big enough that the shifting makes sense. Not supported use cases are, for example, interlinked production processes. This will be not replace a detailed scheduling tool like the Op Center from Siemens, or also an optimization according the whole, I would like to say, a cooling situation, photovoltaic. Therefore, we have other tool sets. This is really a functionality which give you a possibility more to improve the whole production topic. So other tools you can find here, like the BioService from our Smart Infrastructure department, like GPROMs, also to optimize the whole, I would like to say, process module directly in the different industries. So this will help you much better by side of this whole planning process according only to the production focus. Yeah, we also have a new KPI calculation. We call that also Viva, measuring variable, as I told you in the beginning. And this functionality will give me all the predicted load from the production plan in kilowatt hours, for example, for the electricity. And this can be used also in a report. So finally, when you have imported the production plan, when you have optimized the whole information, then you can create the report about the estimated load profile from the plant level. Good. So I would like to jump again into our live demo to show you the feature also online. Again, you will find here the production planning tool in the analysis feature, production planning, when I activate that one. And here you can see only my 2 filling lines are activated for the production planning flexibilization topic. And this is the reason why I can't see anymore here. So on the right side, you see when I select the site level, for sure, both filling lines. And for both filling lines for today or for the next days, I have already implemented a production plan by uploading that production plan here in the functionality. Based on the selected here assets, I can also first download a production plan. So when I download the production plan, to give you an idea how it can look like, then you can see all the linked products, material, like here, and I have all the assets below also in other tabs. And in these other tabs, I will be able to find here the actual planned production. So here we will have from 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock, there is a production available. The earliest start for the optimization should be 4 o'clock in the morning, and the latest end should be 7 o'clock. Between this time period, the optimizer can realize the shifting. Which product should be produced based on that list, what you have here in the material, the amount in tons, whatever, rate per hour will be calculated, and you have also some correction factors. The same for the filling line 2, if I switch to the other tab. So here you can do your configuration, also planning for the whole next week, and so on. And then you save these information in the Microsoft Excel production plan file, and then you can upload that information into the system. And then you will find here the production plan, as you can see my view directly here available. So at the moment, both productions are planned between 8 o'clock and 12 o'clock for today. And now I can define here the optimizer. I can switch here in another view. So these are my data. I have already calculated in the system or uploaded into the system. The green line will show me my typical estimated load profile from the whole plant level of that day. So we see that we have a higher load in the morning until, I would like to say lunchtime. In the afternoon, less production is running. And in the evening, they start the production again because the higher load is coming up again. And the blue line is the day ahead price. The day ahead price will show you when is our cheapest, I would like to say, time areas where we can have a cheaper production. Here you can see 93 euro per megawatt hour, or high price areas like 184. So with that information, additionally with my time slots from the production, the system will now, when I start the optimizer, use the functionality in the background to optimize the best time frame for my production. It will take a while that the system will show me a result. And then you can see, okay, originally my time period was between 8 and 12, what I have planned in the production plan. And now the system shifted for both filling lines the best time frame according to less load as well as cheapest price during that functionality. When I confirm now that optimization, the tool will finally save that functionality in my jobs. And I can also download that production plan again to, for example, move them further to the production manager and so on. That they will know, okay, the production was shifted based on our flexibilization optimization. And in the same way, for sure, you can see when I go into future, I have not at the moment no confirmation of the optimization done, but I can do this also for the next day's planning or for the next week. If the jobs are optimized, then you can see that state here in this little line. Okay, yeah, so this is the additional, I would like to say, optimization what we can offering by side of analyzing data on the consumption level, also to get one step deeper into the production area and optimize the whole production situation if for sure you have flexibility in the whole production process available with loads which are high enough where it makes sense to reduce finally the total energy consumption situation. Good. Yeah, when we are talking about the licenses of the Energy Manager Pro for this flexibilization functionality, there is now a power pack available that you can use by side of the old production plan tool, which was already existing to calculate the estimated energy consumption. You can upgrade here with a power pack production planning in the direction to flexibilization to get these higher list prices. This is only the German list price of the software, which will combine the production planning tool with the flexibilization. So there is an upgrade license available now for the version 7.6. Yeah, comments and documents. Now I would like to give you also a few information about the other main topics which are new in the version 7.6. As I have you already shown, you can add comments or upload documents to assets, to dashboards, also connect them directly to data points, to measurements like an energy counter and so on. And also in the corporate carbon footprint functionality, you can connect to each scope, for example, such a comment, or I would like to say also documents like PDFs and so on. So here you have an overview where what will be also available according to properties, what I have presented you already, to select the properties, create filter objects in the data point view, in the KPI view, and so on. So we have really tried to give more usability into the system and realize the whole configuration much easier, plus also the data analysis. Yeah, the configuration as I told you, was also now available with the new parameter hub functionality, where we can configure each of the parameters step by step directly below the asset, or we have directly the parameter hub functionality. Yeah, maybe one information I have missed before when I go back to my parameter hub. The functionality for sure is also that I can make a bulk selection here. So for example, here all my industrial heat pump data points can be used with a multi-selection to connect them to another asset, change the compression cycle, the status, and so on. Or I can also here clone the data points, create new ones, or copy that data points. So 4 objects are copied. I will be able now to go back, for example, in one of my objects in the tree. And when I configure, for example, now here a dashboard, and I would like to insert that values, then I can edit here in the parameter view, and then you have here the paste button. So you can first make a selection in the parameter hub of different objects, especially for multi-engineering, that's very useful. And you copy that in the clipboard, and here with the paste button, finally, you see the functionality will be here available from my heat pump. So also an easy way, finally, to connect new data, new KPIs into the right position. Yeah, that's the also bulk edit functionality. Yeah, one information additionally, because we were always discussing between parameter factors that we have here in the parameter hub. Now the word parameter, we changed the old parameter, which is, for example, a flexible value, time-based and so on, to factor. So the parameter hub will be an overview because all these objects, data point, KPIs, and factors are parameters, and this is the reason why we changed here the name. Only to prevent the confusing situation when you will find the names. Yeah, parameter hub I have already explained. So should really help you to get a much more easier configuration possibility directly now also in the web browser. To have an overview where you have it similar like in an Excel overview with different tabs and lines where you can configure the different functionality, insert comments like we have it here, add informations much more easier, or configure also new data points. To configure new data points, there is also a new view about the acquisition. The acquisition view will be now also available here in the service tab. By side of the parameter hub, we have here the data originals are also in the project configuration available in the last version. And here we have an overview about all existing hardware objects, so acquisition hardwares worldwide, especially if you have a group-wide, I would like to collection of data worldwide. And each of the, for example, hardware objects, the acquisition objects, will here find out the drivers. So when I would like to, for example, create a new driver channel, then I will select here the acquisition hardware, add here the new driver channel. I will get here the total selection of all available drivers of our software. Also brand new is that we have now the OLEDB driver channel available, a brand new MQTT, but I will tell you more later on. So all the driver channels will be available here now also in the web browser. And if I would like to connect to a new Modbus TCP device, for example, you can see, okay, I will create here a new Modbus TCP channel, for example, to our Siemens Centrum packs. Save that information. I will have this driver channel below. And then I can say, okay, and now create a new connection to one of the devices. Open here the driver channel. This is my pack 5000 sorry, 4200. I insert here the IP address. If there is a connection, I can test the connection, say, okay, every 50 minutes or every 1 minute, I would like to take over the values. I can open my templates. Here, our Siemens devices will have some templates. If you will connect other manufacturers of Modbus TCP devices, then you can export here also templates in that menu from our devices and modify them to the Modbus register of other manufacturers. So I select here, for example, now the Centrum Pack 4200 device, and then I can say, okay, please add the necessary data points I would like to take over from my template. And in fact, for the whole calculation of energy, also because of the license data points, I only need the active energy counter to take them over. I will add them from the sorry, I forgot to activate. I will add them now to the table, and then I will have it here available. We have to update here the version. There is the old version included where we do not see here the lines. And then I can save that functionality. And now I have the new device here available with the data point, where directly I can use it in the next presentation, in a report, in a KPI configuration, and so on. So also these functionalities will be now brand new, available to configure the acquisition components directly, as well as all the driver channels directly in the web overview, as already mentioned in the data acquisition tab. Good. Yeah, we also implemented now the user management or identity management in the web browser. So that will be also available here to connect the different objects in the right functional groups or user groups. So that will be also available when you open here the configuration tab, user management, then all the user config, for sure, only if you have access rights. My Siemens user will have enough access rights. Also, all the information will be available here. So I have a user list, I have the user group list of administrators, I have a functional group list where I can see, okay, which authority level do this functional group have and what is allowed to do with that functional group, and so on. I can create new domains, for example, for each site or so on. So all this functionality will now be switched from the full client, from the desktop client to the web client. And for sure, also this functionality can be now directly linked here in the asset tree. Like I can define here, okay, site Berlin can be accessed by the different selected domains, or will have an authority level, for example, of 500 and not for a guest user, which is below 500, to see that functionality. So this will be also available to configure directly in each of the single objects too. Good. Yeah, here a few pictures about how to connect them. Also brand new is that we have implemented two new identity management. One is the Auth0 identity management, where you can get the authorization based on the connections linked to a server. So this will be also available, especially if you have a corporate network where this is necessary to connect such an authorization service. So Auth0 will be now supported, as well as Entry ID. Entry ID is also a possibility. You can connect now to the Energy Manager services and use them for the authorization process. Microsoft Active Directory was already a topic, but this is additionally now connected to use it in the login. And if that are configured, then you will have in the login mask here the different functionalities. So like Windows login, Entra ID login, or Auth0. It mostly depends which user is logged in on the Microsoft side, and that it will be connected, or you will use it in that way. Once, if it's already configured, then it will be automatically logged into the system. Yeah, also the communication is brand new between the acquisition component and the server. We do some such improvements in the security level. And when we talked about our old data exchange between acquisition and server, we have now the possibility to exchange the data based on a secure web communication. So you can see here there is Sorry, I closed my web slides. Just a second. Yeah. So here you can now configure, instead of the portal communication, also the secure HTTPS communication, for sure only if this is available to communicate via that ports based on security guidelines of the corporate level. And if the access is available, you will get here green lines, so that pairing between acquisition and application server will take place about the new REST API concept. Yeah, I have to hurry up a little bit. New improvements about the user interface. As I told you, we create new tabs where we will structure that functionality much better. So we have system settings with backup configuration and so on, similar to the old version. We have now a new data provision tab where you can provide the calculated data of our database via connection to the Cloud Insights Hub, OPC UA connection, or Sequin upload to the product carbon footprint functionality. We have also improved here new KPI modules. So, for example, division through a factor to an old parameter will be now split up in the right time window to get the right calculation results in the same way like a multiplication. We have a new multi-regression analysis output tool in a report where you can list up your regression modules up to 50 different regression modules in one report, or you will use more modules. So one module in a report can create 50 of these regression results. We have improvements also in the report done. Also in the web, you can now configure time span correction. That means if you will, for example, show with one module the actual weekly balance and the last week balance, then you can use this time span correction. This was only available in the desktop client. So here we have a result where you will see all the consumption calculation or cost calculation from the current week you have started the report or from the last week. Yeah, write data to Energy Manager Pro via REST API is also a nice new feature. So there is now a possibility with these REST API strings that you can write data from externally also into our database. So here are the different commands, how it is possible to use this REST API to write the data. There is a limitation to 10,000 values per call. Clear timestamps are expected that we can work with them for sure. And for sure, the Energy Manager Pro user needs the permission to write that data. This is also clear according to the security level. MQTT import is now also possible. Take care, we do not provide an MQTT broker, so that should be available. But we can now connect that functionality from the broker that we will include based here on a Python script, the values from the MQTT topic or from the broker into our system. So there is a new MQTT client channel available. Yeah, and last but not least, which features are not longer supported now with the upgrade to version 7.6. According to that, we have now everything in the web client, the whole batch configuration, as well as the production planning. For sure, that configuration is only available now in the web browser and not in the desktop client anymore. So this is the functionality. As well as the old ODBC connector, which can be used many, many years ago to connect databases, will be not available anymore. Instead of that one, you can use the new OLEDB connection driver channel, which will work also over the new HTTPS channel with the new acquisition pairing concept to the application server. Good. Yeah, that's all. 10 o'clock. Thanks for your attention.